let's jump directly into it. We will start here with the backend configuration for the Profit Center Reorganization, and afterwards I will show you the process. So we go to SPRO, click on SAP reference IMG, and then under Financial Accounting, General Ledger Accounting, Organizational Changes, Preparation Activities for Organizational Changes, we will find all the customizing to configure our organizational change, which is in this case a Profit Center Reorganization. Over here you can see an overview document for the preparation activities for organizational changes. So I advise you to click on this one, and here you can see all the activities that need to be conducted. But we will now go through them one by one. Next off you can see assign document type for transfer posting. So when we conduct the Profit Center Reorganization, certain documents will be posted, and they will be posted with the document type we assign over here. In this case, I would strongly advise you to create an own document type so you can easily distinguish the documents that will be generated by the system. Therefore, we need to go up a bit. We go to Financial Accounting Global Settings, Document, Document Types, Define Document Types. We scroll down a bit until we find SA, and this one we will copy. Let's call it Z1 and save. We will just rename it PC Reorganization, and that's it. Now we'll go back to the Profit Center Reorganization customizing. Let's close this. And over here we now click on Assign Document Type for Transfer Posting. New entry, Z1, and that's it. Click on Save. Now let's go back. Back again. Next off we can see a Derive and Open Posting Period for automatic correction postings. Let's click on this one. Here we can click on New Entries. And here you can see a check mark called Handle Automatic Correction Postings for Closed Periods. So when we hit this check mark, then the system will derive an open posting period for automatic correction postings. Let me give you an example. Let's say that an open item was posted with a posting date of December 19th. And now the organizational change was performed, but with an effective date of January 1st. And this open item was transferred from the old Profit Center to the new Profit Center. Afterwards, the organizational change was completed. So let's now imagine that in February, the original invoice of this open item needs to be reversed with a reversal posting date in December. So a reversal before the effective date of the organizational change, which was on January 1st. The December posting period is open for this purpose, but the posting period for January is closed. So now the organizational change wants to consider this reversal and wants to create an automatic correction posting for this transfer posting of the open item because it was reversed. However, this correction can't be performed because the reorganization period, which is January, is closed, as you can see over here. When we now hit this indicator over here, then the system can perform the automatic correction in the next open period, which would be February for this example. However, if this option is not selected and the posting period for the organizational change is closed, then the system will display an error message stating that this automatic correction for the organizational change can't be performed. So I would always advise you to select this indicator over here and then save. Now we go back again. Next off, we have here an activity called Create Simulation Ledger for Organizational Change. Let's click here on the documentation. And over here you can see we can create a simulation ledger to see a simulation of all of the transfer journal entries that will be created when we execute our reorganization in a couple of minutes. So this is quite handy because this way we can see all the results without even posting them to the system. Therefore, we go here to Define Settings for Ledger and Currency Types in a second. And please be aware that we will define this simulation ledger, which is also an extension ledger, with the type line items with technical numbers, deletion possible. And we will assign it to a standard ledger. And here you can also see if we use several standard ledgers and we want to simulate the transfer posting for each ledger, we can also define multiple extension ledgers and assign one extension ledger to one standard ledger. Okay, we click on this one, double click on the first one, now click on this one. Now we click on New Entries, let's call it Z3, Simulation Ledger. This is an extension ledger and we select line item with technical numbers, deletion possible. The underlying ledger is a standard ledger. Now we hit on Enter, select the entry, go to company code settings for the ledger. Over here we can see the company codes are all assigned already, so that's fine, we can save. Now we can go back again, and we are back here in the customizing. Let's go back, Close this. And next off, we have here a customizing activity called Specify Periods for Sales Document Selection. That's it on this one. Click on New Entries. And here you need to know that, in general, a reorganization only considers objects for which processing has not yet been completed. So meaning that follow-on activities still need to be performed for those objects. And the reorganization will then ensure that such follow-on activities are performed using the new reorganizational unit, so the new profit center. However, for sales documents, it cannot be established with certainty on the basis of the processing status of our sales documents whether any follow-on activities will occur. So for instance, a sales order might already have the overall processing status called completed, even before it has been billed completely. Also, the status of the sales order could change back into in process. So in this activity, we can say that for a specific type of sales document, for instance, a sales order, all of the documents for the last X months, so for instance, for the last 3 months, should be considered. And this starts here from the reorganization date. So for instance, if the reorganizational date is the 1st of January, then all sales orders 3 months back in time, starting from the 1st of January, will be considered. And this would include all sales orders that are still open, as well as such sales orders which already have the status completed and are newer than the 3 months as of the reorganization date. We will do this here for all of the different sales document types, and that's it. Then we can save. Then go back again. And the same we can also do for the purchasing document. So here you can see it's already defined even for 6 months. Then we have here an activity called Specify Events for Change Documents and Fixed Assets. This we will only do if you want to include fixed assets in the organizational change. As you know, in our asset master, we can also assign profit centers. So when we execute this activity, then we ensure that fixed assets, which were newly created or changed, are considered during the organizational change. Please be aware that this does not count when the universal parallel accounting business function is active. And if we want to include those fixed assets and the universal parallel accounting is not active, then we can use here this SWEC transaction code and create those changed and created events for change document ANLA and the business object type BUS 1022. I can quickly show you this. Let's click on this one, continue. So you would simply click on New Entries, insert here the change document type ANLA and the object type BUS 1022. On Create, hit on Enter, include the created, enter again, and that's basically it. And you would do the same then on Change as well. For now, we'll cancel and go back. Last but not least, we have here Activate Organizational Change Features. Hit on this one, and here we got 3 check marks. The first one is called Activate Organizational Change. If we select this one, then we can create organizational changes using the Manage Organizational Changes app. This we'll do in a second. And thereby we can change the profit centers. Then we have Transfer Open Items. So when we hit this one, then during the simulation and also the processing of our organizational change, transfer postings will be created for open payables and open receivables. And also the profit center will be derived based on the posting date during the open item clearing and also other open item related follow-up processes. And the reassign TECO, this stands for Technical Completed Orders. When we select this one, are reassigned for networks and also maintenance orders which have a technical completed status. We can select this one over here as well. Click on Save. Let's go back. Then we have here a check report, check configuration for organizational change. Let's select this one. Right now there are only warning messages. This is okay. And here we have an option to activate notifications for organizational changes so that when we work with Fiori apps, notifications will be displayed in the top right corner of the app and inform us whether organizational change actions were successfully performed. For now, we'll leave it as is. That's it for the customizing. Let's now go into the process. So therefore, we will switch to Fiori. So here in Fiori, we go to the application called Manage Organizational Changes. Select this one. Now click on Create. We give it a name and quite importantly, the effective date. Let's take the current one. We select the company code and further down, we will now click on Create here for the profit center and we will say this should only count for the controlling area and a specific profit center. So now we will go here to product as an example and we will insert one product, this one over here. If we click on this arrow, then you can see the old profit center as YB700, and we now want a new profit center YB012. Click on apply, and that's basically it. Please be aware that you can also import objects via this button, and then download the template, fill the data, and upload it again. So this is quite handy if we have lots of, for instance, products where the profit center should be changed. Let's go back, save for now. That's okay, we click on save. And now we can click here on simulate. You can see the run status changed, and now we need to wait a bit. I will just fast forward. Now the simulation was finished with errors. Let's look at this one. Here you can see we have the error message, no accounting transaction variant assigned to FINOC posting info Z1. This is the new document type we created. So what we need to do is we need to go back into the customizing, and here under financial accounting, general ledger accounting, business transactions, document splitting, we need to classify our new document type for document splitting. So click on this one, and here for our new document type, we must make sure to include a business transaction and a variant, and then save. Now let's go back to Fiori and simulate again. Click on simulate. Now we can see the organizational change was finished, and we only have warning messages. We can see transfer postings were created for ledger Z3. Now we can go to the application display line items in general ledger. Select this one. Now we change the ledger, the company code, we select all items, and via depth filters we will go to the journal type, this one over here. Click on OK and select the journal entry type that we just created. Hit on go, and here you can see the simulated postings. Please be aware that the journal entry starts with an S, as this is only a simulation and will be deleted. Here you can see the profit center change as expected, and in total this is a zero-sum game. Now we can go back again, go into the organizational change again. Now we can click here on activate, hit on OK. The activation is finished with warnings, that's okay for now. And if we click on process, then the reorganization will be processed. And you can see the process is now finished with warnings. And here we can see the transfer postings were created per ledger. Yeah, and that's basically it for the customizing and also the process of Profit Center Reorganization in SAP S/4HANA using Fiori. I hope you liked this video. It took a lot of effort, so I would really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. Also make sure to subscribe to my Patreon, where we have a community chat and where I post lots of informative blog posts about SAP. The link is in the bio of my channel. Thanks a lot, and see you next time.